Hey guys, welcome back. Just wanted to bring you guys along for mixing of my nutrients here and everything. My previous video I really went over everything in detail, so I'm not going to go over as much detail this time. But I am going to just kind of run through just a quick thing. I have my bottle labeled here, Master Blend. Then I have calcium nitrate, I believe. And then Epsom salt, which is going to be magnesium sulfate MgSO4. So I didn't label that, I just kind of put a quick ingredient list on there just to try to remind me or anybody else that happens to be coming into contact with this. Hopefully no one else is coming into contact with it. But just kind of give them a quick rundown. So these are the three ingredients here that I'm going to be using. mhpgardener, he's the guy I got this from. I'm going to try to put a link in the video here, or down below is probably where I'll put it, since my YouTube skills aren't epic yet. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But so this is the master blend. I labeled it here. What I did is I put a piece of tape over the lid here. I guess it's just a Tupperware type container. So that way if I ever changed the ingredients or changed what I was doing, I could pull the tape off and I wouldn't have permanent marker on here. Although you can see permanent isn't, it's not permanent. So I did find and mhpgardener, he kind of did a video kind of warning you that you have to keep these ingredients dry. Otherwise, if it's not kept in a dry place, you know, it could end up causing issues. The calcium nitrate and the magnesium sulfate. Essentially I just have a little scooper here that I have. So I try to keep these ingredients as dry as I can. This seems to be keeping quite well. I put the lid on super tight. I don't know if it needs air to stay good or, you know, what's going on with that. But that's the master blend. This is the calcium nitrate. And the only one that really has problems is the Epsom salt. It does tend to get a little sticky. You know, I can certainly scoop out, you know, but when you start digging around a little bit, you find clumps, you find, you know, so I don't know if that's due to the storage, if that's not an airtight container, or, you know, if it's not tight enough, or what's going on. But here are the amounts. I happen to use 2.4 grams of the master blend, 2.4 grams of the calcium nitrate, and then 1.2 grams of the Epsom salt. So that's what I usually do. So I just have all three of these. Now, it's important to know these are measured by weight, as far as I can tell, not by volume. So if I use one full scoop of this, and then I use one full scoop of this, that does not necessarily mean, and then a half a scoop of this, that doesn't necessarily mean that I've gotten the ingredients correctly, because it's weighed, it's not by volume. So if all three ingredients weigh exactly the same amount, then I could most definitely do that. But as far as I know, it's measured by weight, not volume. So just to kind of give you guys a heads up there. So I turn on the scale and zero it out. I don't know how much of the scale you're going to be able to see. And then I try to do my best to get 2.4 grams of the master blend. I do have a bit of an issue though. The scale happens to only weigh in it happens to only weigh in 2 gram increments. And it's set to grams now. I don't know if you guys can see the little G there. So so I'll pull back here and give you kind of a shot maybe of me trying to trying to make this scale work for me. It's a great scale, other than it just weighs in 2 gram increments. So I just try to slowly pour it in. What will end up happening is 2 will pop up. I'll put just a little bit more, and then that. Oops. So I tapped it and it happened to go up to 4, so I don't know It's probably just two or maybe it's gone up to like 3. I'll tar the unit. I'll then scoop in. Well, that should have been about 2 grams as far as I know. One of the things that you should probably consider doing would be to mix these individually. I usually do mix them individually, that way if I mess up and put just slightly a little too much in, I can then take out what I put in. Come on, 2 grams, let's go. Alright, well apparently I don't believe my scale is working, since usually I put in that much and it's usually good to go. There we go, 2 grams. We're just gonna trust, oh, now it's up to 4. Now it's back down to 2. So you see the problem with the scale, it doesn't really help me, you know, it's not as accurate as it should be. So I tarred it, you know, reset it to 0, so now I'll put in and that's about what I'll normally put in. And the other thing is I don't know if this goes to 2 grams. That's about what I normally put in. I don't quite want this to get to 2 grams. I'll just put in a little bit more just to see if it will tick over. I don't know if the scale rounds off to the nearest 2 grams. So like now so now it would be like as soon as it goes over 1, it goes up to 2. Or if it does something different. But that's all I'm going to put in there. So I don't quite want 2 grams. That's about as close as I know. Normally I would have it a little bit more accurate, but kind of giving an overview here. So there you go. All 3 are mixed up in my little container here. So 36 it says. It weighs 36 grams. 34 grams now, because it's negative 34. I don't remember how much the bottle weighs. I think it was 26 grams thereabouts. So I definitely think that I have some amounts off on that. But this is what I have to work with. This is what I'm using right now, so I'm just going to go with it, and we'll see what ends up happening here. So let me see. Oh, actually, hang on 1 minute. Let me grab something. My apologies. Here's one I had made up previously, and it's at -2. So this says that I'm light about 2 grams. So actually, I'll just put that back on, and I will add the little bit more of the Epsom salt here, which I thought. There we go. Close enough. So that's essentially what I do. Let me see how much this one weighs. Okay, so essentially I make these up in advance to what I'm doing and everything. So here's 2 that I had previously made up. Here's this one that I'm making up today. So we will now take and I'll go ahead and put the lids back on all of these, making sure I get the right ones with the right one. This is the master blend here. So we'll put that on. We'll do the calcium nitrate. Put that on, and then we'll do the Epsom salt here. So I'm all set with that. So now what I would normally do is I would try to fill up the I would now fill up a milk jug, orange juice jug, whatever. I would fill that up with water. So I've actually marked out on this one kind of my fill line, and it weighs 8 pounds 3.9 ounces. No, that can't be right. I don't know. I'll just go ahead and I'll weigh it here as I fill it, and I hope I don't spill it. on there, so I need to reset. I think, yeah, I need it on pounds and ounces for this particular one, so I will now go ahead and just fill this up. I guess I better not do it on the scale, since that will probably mess things up. So this is, I guess I mentioned it in the other video, not this one. This is water that I let sit on the counter for 24 hours before I use it, just to get rid of the chlorine and that sort of thing. So I would show you guys the big mess that I am making, but you guys probably aren't too interested in that. My scale will auto turn off, so hopefully it doesn't. Oh, I grabbed the wrong jug. Oh well. This is normally my half-strength jug that I'm filling up now, but that was the one I had marked with the weight and everything on it, so this happens to be the one I'm going to use. Alright, so I filled that up. Now, one of the things you have to be careful is when you're lifting it, usually you'll have it below the line. As soon as you set it down, the bottom kind of caves in a little bit and you're at the line. So I'm going to stick this on the scale here. So it says it's 8 pounds and 2.5 ounces, I'm assuming. Okay, so it's 2.5. So I just need to add just slightly a little bit more. It doesn't have, in my opinion, I don't have to have this perfect or anything. There you go. I'm 1 ounce off, so I will just leave that be. Not here for perfection, just trying to get it as accurate as I can. So that is that. So we'll turn off the scale. So there we go. Set that off to the side. Now, I did want to show you guys this pH up and pH down that I happen to get. These are the ones that I happen to use. You guys feel absolutely free to use whatever you want. I do know, I don't believe these are concentrate, so I believe I bought a lot of water with my acid and base, but so in the future I would probably look for concentrate. I could be wrong, maybe these are concentrates. I do know that they are extremely corrosive, so you have to use with great care. So I know you should probably try not to mix these two, since there would probably be a reaction of some sort. I don't know what it would be, but that's usually the way acid and base work. Big reaction. So this is just my my little test kit here. So just my little pH test kit that I had that happened to come with the bottles when I bought them and everything. So this is just what I'm using. I think it's 3 to 5 drops, but it wants you to only fill up halfway. So I've marked that off. So that's that. Usually when my water comes out of the tap, it's usually, I believe it's around 6.5, 7, something like that. But if I let it sit for 24 hours, it usually goes up. The pH goes up. So I don't know if there's some we have kind of hard water here where I'm at. So I don't know if there's something that's in the water that when it comes out of the pipe, then it kind of dissolves, or what happens. But so I have noticed that. So this water has been sitting for a little bit here. I could give you guys a little indicator as to what it is. The lighting's not the best in here, so you probably won't be able to tell. I usually take it over to my window to be able to tell what the pH is. But all I do is fill it up halfway. I drip in 3 to 5 drops here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 4. Alrighty, so 4 drops are in. Give it a little shake. So, and that happens to be, get a light going on here. Oh, that doesn't help any. Alright, so this is what I normally do. And then of course you have the bottle here. So best I can tell, to me, with the white background here on the lid, normally I'd like to have it in the light, not this particular light, but in a light. And it looks to be, to me, between 7 and 8 is what it looks like to me. It's certainly not 6.5. And I would say that it's probably not 8.5. So it looks like it's 7, 7.5 maybe, maybe 8. But let me just rinse this out, and I will pull a sample from my tap, fresh right out of the tap there. We'll do the exact same test. Drip 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so there we go. We'll shake it up. And let's see. Of course, it's probably going to make a liar out of me, right? Right. Looks to me about 7. Certainly not 6.5. Maybe it's a little over 7, maybe closer to 8. So I guess it's about, this time it happens to test about the same. But usually my water tests lighter than that. Usually it tests the 7 to 6.5 mark. And then after letting it sit for a while, it tends to go up. So something that I've become aware of, and I've tested before and after. This particular time, it happens to be pretty much the same. So that's a thing. So now I'm going to take the ingredients here that we measured out earlier, and I'm going to mix it in here with this bottle here. But before I do that, what I am going to do though is I'm going to take water from here and put it in here. That way I can kind of swish it around and mix it up a little bit. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know what the restrictions are. I know some compounds you shouldn't be shaking because it adds air into the mix and it messes things up. So I don't happen to know if this is one of those compounds that can't be shaken. So I just try to swish it around the best I can. Try to get as much in there. So that's about what I think should be good. So then what I'll do is I'll dump this into here. See if we can get a better shot. So I have noticed with the ridges on this particular bottle, things will sometimes get stuck in the bottle. So I tend to try to shake it, because you probably can't see, but there's a ridge there, up there, and things do tend to get the mix kind of gets stuck in there a little bit. So, but I think looks pretty good to me. Looks like it's emptied out. So here you have it. Sorry, that wasn't the best of shot, but now I'll just kind of swish it around the best I can here. Let me put the lid on here. Sorry for the arm in the shot there. Alright, so we'll kind of swish it around. One of the negative things is that the ones that come from, I believe this is Sam's, and a lot of them now are doing it where they can be stacked on each other very easily. So you can't see that either. So they're made to be stacked on each other, much more stable and stuff. So, but then that doesn't help me trying to mix the fluid here. So just kind of switch this around. What I'm trying to look for is make sure I don't hear any solids kind of rolling around, and that I don't see any solids rolling around. So I know ultimately probably a 5-gallon bucket or 1-gallon bucket and stirring would probably be a lot better, especially with the bottoms on these things. But yeah, so alright, so that's going to be it for that. I think it's pretty good. So now I am going to then take the lid off and add the rest of the 1 gallon from the previous jug that I had started into this one here. Let's see if I can get this here. You guys can watch me make a big mess, right? Maybe not. Go, go, go! Yay! Alright, so, well, that wasn't too bad. A little bit of a drip there, but that should be just fine. We'll just pour this in here. My hands are working very well today. It's a good thing. Alright, so we have almost done here. Sorry guys, it's taking so long. There we have it. Now I'll just take that jug and shake it up, and we'll, then I'll be ready to go with some nutrients there. So I'm just kind of try to swish it around here the best I can. Pick it up and try to get everything as best I can without actually shaking and adding a whole bunch of air into the solution there. So, and that's it there for the that's it for the jug there. So now once I've done all that, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video. It went much longer than I had anticipated, so we'll stop this video and pick it up on the next one. Alrighty, thanks guys for watching. Talk to you later.